In 1866, timber getters began harvesting timber in the Kin Kin district. About 1869–70, McGee, Luya, Goodchap and Woodburn, miners from the Gympie goldfields, set up a sawmill at Alandra Point, also known as Alandra Point or Mill Point, on Lake Cootharaba. They also developed a shipping service using flat-bottomed paddle wheel steamers known as drogas. Noosa River was a busy waterway in the 19th century, as it is today. The sawn timber was loaded onto pontoons and towed down the river by drogas Black Swan and Alandra to Colloy on the north bank of the Noosa River, opposite the Noosaville waterfront. From there it was loaded onto the steamer, Colgoa, bound for Brisbane. Colgoa made regular trips for 20 years until it was wrecked on the Noosa River Bar in 1891. Mill Point. Where is it? On Lake Cootharaba, about a 20-minute walk from the Habitat Noosa Eco Camp at Alandra Point, which is about 5 kilometres from Boreen Point. The map shows where artefacts of the mill and settlement were found during an archaeological survey. The photo montage shows views of the historical site. A few scattered remnants of the settlement that used to be a walking track that was once a tramway formation, the old wharf site marked by a few submerged timbers. Here's what it looked like in the day, with a sawmill, workers' settlement, shops, a school and an unofficial pub, the tramway that ran several miles out into the forest and a wharf for the paddle wheel drogas that collected the timber. A generally bustling, thriving community. The first picture is a view of the mill site as seen from the lake. The other picture is a panoramic photo thought to have been taken from the water tower. Next, a description of the sawmill as written by Governor Normanby in 1872.
On entering the works, we found circular saws and traveling benches of the latest make and largest capacity, and a vertical saw frame weighing over 20 tons. To the rear of the mill, we found a regular township of workmen's houses, a goods store and a butcher's shop, and there seemed to be nothing wanting.
Mill Point sawmill boasted a narrow-gauge tramway with timber rails, later upgraded to iron rails. Jinkas were loaded with logs in the scrubs and pulled to the sawmill by horses or bullocks. In 1873 the sawmill's main boiler exploded, killing 5 workers who were warming themselves against the early morning chill. The mill closed in 1892, but remnants are still visible, including sections of the tramway embankment. The story of the town, and of the tragic 1873 boiler explosion, are told by signage on site, now fading away, like the remnants of the town itself. Without the signage you'd hardly know there was anything to see, just a few weathered artifacts, of which an ancient boiler and a cottage chimney are the most prominent. After the mill closed in 1892, logs were poled down to Tewantin and loaded into cargo boats. Motorboats were later used to speed up the work, towing as many as 200 logs, 12 abreast and secured by chains. The motorboat took from daylight till dusk to make the journey to Tewantin. Death Henderson Wharf was the town's connection to river and sea traffic. The other photos are of Martin's Hotel and the Town Hall, both long gone, with the hall site now become a boat ramp car park, and of the Tewantin Wharf around 1915. Noosa Museum houses a detailed model of the Mill Point settlement, with depictions of the sawmill and its wharf, its surrounds including the timberyard and workers' huts, and the tramway. There's lots more about the history of our region, along with some intriguing tales, in publications on sale at the museum. See the website, noosamuseum.org, for details. Mill Point is also the setting for The Forgiving Spirit, a historical novel that gives Mill Point a fictional renewal after the 1893 flood, built largely on the profits of an illicit floating distillery. The book is available for purchase in paperback from the museum, or on Amazon.